Hi, it's James from MPICT in San Francisco at our 2013 ICT Educator Conference with Steve Wright, and you're with iima4biz.
iima4biz, yeah, you can say it a lot of different ways, but it stands for Interactive Internet and Mobile Applications for Business. The initiative is part of the Economic and Workforce Development Program. Originally, the Economic and Workforce Development Program was set up to identify emerging technologies within the state of California and to come up with proactive workshops or perhaps new curriculum to help address the needs of the workforce in adapting to those new technologies. And over time, a number of different initiative areas have formed. A couple of years ago, the initiative that we now call iima4biz was called MEI, which stood for Multimedia and Entertainment Initiative. And then that was good in its time, and a lot of work was done in developing graphics and digital arts curriculum. But with the emergence of social media, interactive internet, and mobile applications, there wasn't an initiative that actually addressed how to deal with those from a business perspective. So as we went through time, we altered the agenda and the focus of the initiative and renamed it eventually, so that our primary target now is small and medium business and their adaptation to the use of interactive internet and mobile applications. I think the most common experience most of us have these days is the idea of being on the computer maybe 10 o'clock at night and buying something. And you think about it, whether you buy from Amazon or some other vendor, you don't know what state that's in. You don't really care. You just want to know whether it's what you want and that you got it right away. Mm-hmm. Well, as a state in California, from an economic development perspective, there's a heck of a lot of retail that we're now losing to other states. Uh-huh. Now, that's fine if it goes both ways. But the question is, do our small and medium businesses have the skills necessary to also grab business from other states and throughout the world as the markets have increased? And the skill set goes beyond the simple marketing of how to use Facebook or set up your website. It goes into disaster recovery, which is more of an ICT kind of phenomena. What happens if your website goes down? How prepared are you to know if someone else has mimicked your website and is using it in some other part of the country? So we see overlaps between traditional IT or ICT and this new area of interest. Yet we also see overlaps with the business departments, the computer science departments, and the digital arts departments. So defining this initiative within the scope of traditional community college departments and even within the scope of normal business departments has been strange. Mm-hmm. And similar to some of the challenges I know you've had in trying to identify what are the ICT jobs, the job titles are all over the place. Small and medium business won't necessarily hire a social media analyst. Although General Motors recently, I love this article, it had to do with warranties, but recently, within the last year, General Motors went from having no persons monitoring social media and the internet to having a group of 30 people whose exclusive focus is to monitor what's being said about General Motors, what kind of problems people are having with their warranties, where they're getting service, and then interacting with them just based on what appears on the internet. So if they're willing to put 30 people in there, I mean, every business needs to be aware that there is a need, and that's just one aspect. So what we've done is we've spent the last couple of years developing workshops for small, medium businesses, government. We've looked into healthcare. And from that effort and outreach to the community, we put some videos online on our website. But also recently, with the emergence of the Student Success Task Force of the community college system, we've recognized the need to take what was outreach to business and bring it in to the community college system in the form of stackable credentials or new certificates or new curriculum. When we surveyed the curriculum that's out there for social media, we found that there's consultants, there's good books to read, there's webinars, there are a number of social media online courses that are available through what rather significant colleges and universities. Many of these are repackaged from a curriculum provider and sold at pretty high markups, like $800 to $2,000 for a certificate process. But nothing was really available at a community college price. So with our outreach experience and a lot of the people we knew in the industry, we basically redevoted ourselves now to developing curriculum for the community college system and a certificate program that goes along with that called the Interactive Internet for Business Certificate Program. What's unique about this certificate program is that we build the introductory course and the capstone course. And we provide linkage to a web portal that supports both those courses with a lot of student activities, all the curriculum, discussion boards, and a faculty interface to help the faculty manage the student. But the rest of the curriculum, the 3 intervening courses that go between the intro and the capstone, can be selected by any department. So business might decide to take the intro course, which covers all the areas of what's changed in the internet marketplace and that sort of thing, and then sandwich in a finance, a marketing, and perhaps an entrepreneurship course before we go to the capstone course, which has to do with how to complete a strategic analysis and do vendor management, contract management, and project management. Now, all these things are treated at a high level because in most cases what we're trying to do is help the student, which could be a young person or an adult running a business, understand the dimensions of the decision-making world that they're in when it comes to interactive internet. So we treat it at a high level, but with enough information and links for them to go deeper wherever they need to. Correspondingly, aside from business, if this course structure, this curriculum structure was offered in a computer sciences department, they might want to sandwich in courses on user interface, data security, and that sort of thing. If the same curriculum or certificate structure was offered within a digital media environment, they might want to put in web development, maybe some animation and some gamification of things. So we're hoping to have that kind of appeal to all 112 community college campuses and all those departments on all those campuses. And wherever it's picked up and selected, there's this shared portal that will allow us to refresh the information. And it'll be an ongoing enterprise in the sense that we'll be interviewing business people, adding new curriculum as it evolves, because this space changes every 6 months. The social media applications, the collaboration applications, the capability of mobile apps to run a business, new ideas are coming up all the time. So you can't create a static curriculum. It's got to be dynamic. And that's the importance of the web portal, the shared web portal, in terms of efficiency. So we'll be continuing to manage that and add to it and be a shared resource among all of the colleges.
So let me try to wrap my head around this for a second. From an economic and workforce development perspective, it's important to acknowledge small business. It's a big part of our economy. They're probably hiring more people than big business. And especially in this down economy, there's more small businesses emerging and hiring, especially community college students, than a lot of the big businesses.
Absolutely.
So for those small businesses to be successful, they need to get with the ICT revolution too. They need to have websites and systems that allow them to be efficient and visible and successful in the marketplace. But they may not have dedicated people ready to do that sort of stuff. So they've got a special sort of workforce need. They hire community college students. They need help in being successful with ICT.
Absolutely, and you know, as small businesses become more dependent upon the internet, and the source of their revenue or sales increases from maybe 3%, 10% to 80%, all of a sudden that's a very big deal. What happens on that website and how it's handled with their inventory and their customer service and their operations. And we're not suggesting that there's a new position that's emerging that we're going to train and all these small businesses are going to hire them. In many cases, it's a matter of a certain employee having some hybrid duties. It could be the front office person picks up some social media responsibilities, the person in the warehouse picks up some collaboration and shipping and receiving applications that work online. Those kind of changes could occur, and somebody hopefully within the company is going to have an overview of how you deal with contractors and vendors. I have a friend that I love to use him as an example, and his ears have to be burning at least a couple times a week. He runs a kitchen and bathroom remodeling business, and he's very successful. His works are shown in Architectural Digest almost every other month, and yet his website looks like a red, white, and blue old brochure that you'd hand out at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and he can't even remember the name or the phone number of the website developer that put it together in case he had to change, for example, his own phone number. And he's had customers, very successful people up and down Malibu that you see in movies and that sort of thing, that have said, you know, we almost didn't go with you because your website's so, you know, disappointing. So he realized he had to make a change, but he didn't know how to go about it. And I think that's a common situation for a lot of small business people these days. They just don't know how to adapt. They don't have the time. So whether they take the curriculum, or whether they send somebody to take the curriculum, or they hire somebody who's completed the curriculum, you got to get that knowledge into those small businesses, because the people are buying off the internet. We used to say it's 10 o'clock where your children. Now it's kind of like it's 10 o'clock where your customers shopping, because they're online and they're buying from these other places.
Uh-huh. So we need to help small businesses be successful in their use of ICT, and we need to help community colleges develop students so they can help these small businesses. Is that kind of the gist of it?
Yeah, that's whether it's the fresh younger students coming forward who I think are very adaptable to the technology and need to learn more about business, or whether it's the existing older, somewhat business savvy students who need to come back and retool. I think another group is people that have maybe done something for 10, 15 years. All of a sudden they're unemployed and they find themselves in a new world where the marketplace has changed so substantially their skills are irrelevant. And they need to retool. They need to go through a course like this to understand how the business place has changed.
So if someone's interested in learning more, how do they find out?
Right here on our website, yeah. But on our website we have leads to all the programs that we have.
And what is your URL?
iima4biz.org.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
iima4biz,
B-I-Z.
biz.org.
.org.
Okay, so people can visit that site and learn more about your initiative and find resources and ways to engage.
We have a lot of things out there right now, including an entire web-based video series on adapting to the internet for small business, which they are free to take, and even get a certificate of attendance when they're done. As for the certificate that we're talking about now within the community college system, it takes a little time. You know, we've got to get it approved on each campus, and we're working through that right now. We hope to have several campuses offering the program in the fall.
Great. Well, good luck with all that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
You bet.